Welcome to the Call and Response podcast with Krishna Das, a gathering of stories and conversations dedicated to bringing spirituality into our daily lives. Call and Response podcast is an offering of the Kirtanwala Foundation, which is devoted to spreading the teachings of Neem Karoli Baba, a great spiritual teacher of India. If you're interested in supporting this podcast and the work of the foundation, please visit kirtanwalafoundation.org. And please visit krishnadas.com for more offerings like this, including information on Katie's tour and retreats, gifts, online courses, workshops, and more. In 2026, we've updated our digital library to include harmonium tutorials, volumes 1 and 2, fireside stories with Krishna Das, Katie's newest album, Home in the Heart, and much more. This episode is brought to you by SoHum Mountain Healing Resort. When life moves too fast, the body and heart begin to whisper for rest. Ayurveda is the science of life, teaching us how to live in balance with our true nature. SoHum Mountain Healing Resort offers Ayurvedic Panchakarma detoxification retreats in a calm, supportive environment. You can learn more at sohumhealing.com. and use the code KRISHNADAS, PK2026, for $500 off on your Panchakarma retreat. Thanks for listening.
My conversations are usually not recorded, probably for good reason. Someone once asked Maharaji, isn't it hypocritical to worship God when you are not sincere in your devotion? Well, that's a good question, because who's really sincere, right? So many people come and talk to me and share their issues with me and problems on the path. And I always say, you have the longing, and you know what you're looking for. And the longing, on one hand, it ruins your life. And on the other hand, it saves your life at the same time. I remember when Ramdas we were at Brighton Bush, this was a long time ago, soon after the stroke, a few years after the stroke. He decided that he would try to talk with the group without smoking dope for the first time in 60 years or something like that. So he was in total panic, right? What am I going to say? What do I do, I say, look, just go out and say, we will sit in silence until someone has something to say. And he said, oh, that'll never work. I said, just try it. So he came out and he said, we will sit in silence until someone has something to say. All the hands went up, like in about a quarter of a second. He was worried that, nobody would say anything. So, could be nappy time for the Das too, you never know.
So you didn't smoke today?
Huh? Did I smoke today? Not only did I smoke today, it's probably been about 40 years or maybe more. What am I talking about? 50 years. Hi.
Hi. I hope this isn't too silly, but
I hope it is. Turn it up. If it's silly, I really want to hear it.
Okay. I've always wondered, after Maharaji gave you the orders to sing, what you sounded like when you first started.
You'll never know. I just...
Okay. Does she know? You know?
No, she doesn't know.
Maybe she can do an impression.
Somewhere, actually, I made the first thing I recorded is probably about a year and a half or 2 years before One Track Heart was recorded. We recorded it out in Taos, Mexico. And how should I put it? It's cringeworthy. It's so horrible. I just I can't even bear to think about it. And even, you don't want to hear all this shit. Oh, you do? I even don't like One Track Heart. I'm sorry, except for the Devi Puja was very good. Because I can hear my mind, you see? I was thinking, how do you do this? What should I do? And I could hear my mind. Every time I listen to that, it's like, ooh. But by Pilgrim Heart, that was a whole other thing. And then from then on, God knows what it is. I hope. So, yeah. There's just so much less in between my ears these days. It's scary sometimes. Hey, look who's here. ¿Qué pasa? Yeah, you idiot. Yeah. Good. That's how I treat my good friends. Anybody else? Oh, we're going to change the battery. Yeah, it's been a long, strange trip. I mean, Ram Dass and I once in Maui, we used to sit after breakfast, we would sit at the table together for hours and hours. Everybody else would go away. And we'd just kind of sit in silence and talk in silence and talk. So one day I turned the phone on, a recording, and we sat there for hours. So when it was over, I said, I recorded this. And he goes, oh. I said, what should I call it? He said, call it Dick and Jeff's Journey to, what did he say? Dick and Jeff's Journey to Soul Land. Yeah, what a journey.
Hello. Testing.
There it is.
Thank you.
Testing.
Hello, Krishna Das. I've waited 20 years to say this. You're on my bucket list, and I'm sorry I'm going to tell everybody how old you are right now, but...
Don't be sorry, I'm still alive.
Okay.
Be sorry if I wasn't.
Last year when I realized you were 75, I knew I had to come and see you after 20 years, because I'm like, he might be gone, so...
Wait.
I was like...
I got at least 20 minutes left.
I wanted to give you a hug. I'm like, oh my God, you're still alive. Thank you for breathing. Thank you for continuing to breathe. I know it's an effort, but make that effort.
I'm actually not any more alive than I was before I had this body, but that's okay.
That's good. That's good. Actually, I have a question. I've been studying Sikhism, and I noticed that the names Krishna Das, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just
Krishna
teasing.
Das and Ram Das. I noticed that Ram Das was a name that came from the Sikh tradition, and I was wondering if...
It didn't come from the Sikh tradition, and it just means servant of God. It's from all the traditions.
Okay.
All the same. There is a Guru Ram Das, of course, in the Sikh tradition, but the name itself it's just like John or Frank or Tony in English.
So there wasn't like a significance to why Neem Karoli Baba named you guys Krishna Das and
Well, the
Ram Das.
significance is that Maharaji is Hanuman. And that's the Ram, the tradition of Ram. And Das means servant. Hanuman is the servant. So part of that lineage. So the Dasas and the non-Dasas are all part of that with Maharaji.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Was that worth 20 years waiting?
One of them, one of the things. Just being in front of you is enough.
Oh, really? Thank you. You can't pay for that. I mean, how do you get something like that? There you go.
So God bless you. Thank you for all your music. Thank you for a lifetime of music. You've changed my life, and you'll continue to change my life for the rest of my life. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to bow with a microphone, so give the microphone. Good. Cool. Thank you. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
I was introduced to your chanting when I was 12 years old, and then...
2 years ago?
No. Oh, no. 15. And then about 5 years later, I got involved, heavily involved in a spiritual institution where I did kirtan a lot, both leading and just being in the audience responding. But it was an environment where there was, it was just very damaging and destructive, and there was a lot of ego and spiritual bypassing. And now that I'm out of it, I'm feeling that it really damaged my relationship to the holy names of all kinds. And I still want, of course, to cultivate a relationship with them in my heart. But as I'm starting to be exposed to kirtan outside of that environment that I was in, I'm just feeling all of the blockages. And I'm wondering if you have any suggestions or advice on how to
sure.
repair that.
Can I brighten it up just a touch? First of all, let's just think about chanting for a second. When we sit down to chant, the biggest obstacles are expectations. We think something's supposed to happen. Problem is, it already happened. We're here, but we don't know it. So what we're trying to do is come back home. We're not looking for any particular kind of experience. You might be looking for bliss or ecstasy, but that actually might be just running away from suffering. And you can't run away from things, nor can you hold on to things. So when you sit down to chant, or remember the name silently or outwardly, you just, when you notice your thinking, whether it's positive or negative or fantasy or fear, you notice it and you come back to the name. You see, you can always come back. That's the beauty of the name. You can always come back from whatever you're thinking. You just have to notice that you're thinking. So you notice you're stuck, you have all these negative stories that are going on. Okay, so come back. That's all you have to do. And the more you do that, the more often we come back, the less glued we are to those stories. And then eventually they just come through like Indian food. Right through. But they call it practice for a reason. It's a repetition of training ourselves to let go again and again. And you might think, oh, it's unfortunate that I have all this negativity about the name, but it doesn't matter what the negativity is about. It's not really about the name, it's about your experience with that group and the names involved with that. But it doesn't really matter what the subject matter is of the negativity. As soon as you notice that you're stuck, you're actually not stuck at that moment. I mean, the mist of the stuck might be around, but you actually, if you're noticing, you're no longer that stuck. That's when you rededicate yourself just to the sound of the name. You don't push it away and you don't grab onto the name. You just remember it. You see, inside everything's totally cool. It's just the next bump out, we're totally fucked. Everybody's the same. You see, it doesn't matter what the subject matter is. Everybody's screwed up, one thing or another. But the letting go is exactly the same for everybody. And here's the other thing. So you sit down, you're going to practice, and you know, all of a sudden you got all this stuff going on. And then you notice it. How did that happen? That you noticed you were stuck, or you noticed you were thinking. You woke up for a second. Now, nothing can happen without a cause. Can the cause of waking up be asleepness? No. The cause of waking up can only be that we planted seeds of waking up previously. So that's already working. Underneath what you think you are and what you think you're doing, there's a whole karmic flow going on. So you just keep letting go into that again and again. And you don't try to push away the negativity. Look at it. Allow it to be. You can really learn a lot. You know, like one of the lamas I study with talks about the handshake practice. He says, okay, you see, man, then something comes in, like some negative thing, negative feeling. And you go, Oh, hi. How you doing? I know you. Yeah, weren't you here just 10 minutes ago? I think you were. Yeah. Yeah. So you said, come on in. Have a cup of tea. What do you like in your tea? Poison? Okay. I got some of that. Oh, okay. Never mind. I won't give you poison. Just come in. Have something. How about sugar? That's pretty bad for you. But the thing is, don't be afraid. You're here. Whatever happened, but you're still here. You're here now. And 10 minutes from now, you'll still be here now. And tomorrow and next week, you'll be here now. So it's just a matter of remembering to let go and just be. Don't try to make something happen. It already happened. And nothing we can create in our minds or, I want this kind of feeling, I want to have this. None that could never last because we created it. This is why Groucho Marx is my guru. He used to say, I'll never join any club that I'm invited to join. And that's perfect because I don't want to join anything I can create in my mind or my emotions. It won't last. But what lasts is what is here now and what will always be right here now, which is our true nature, who we really are. So it's good. And then you have resentment for being stuck. But there's a secret in that. And the secret is the lesson of betrayal is trust. Not only other people's betrayal, but we gave ourselves away. So, that's how we learn to trust. We forgive ourselves for being, how shall we put it, assholes. And needy and greedy and wanting this and wanting that and all the reasons we would join any kind of group and be attracted to that underneath the surface. We have to forgive ourselves for that because it's just like everybody. We're just like everybody else. But the lesson that we learn, that's imprinted on us from betraying our own hearts is learning how to trust that heart. Because that's what you're doing now. It's just a little unfamiliar, that's all. But that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in a cult myself, so I know what it's like. Fun.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
Two things. One may be silly, and then the other one's more practical. The first one is, I think I remember seeing or reading that Maharaji threw fruit at you.
Everybody.
Right. If you were thinking.
Anytime.
Anytime.
He needed no reason to throw fruit. He wasn't throwing it at you. He was distributing prasad in all directions. But if he wanted to, he could hit you right in the head,
Okay, maybe I misunderstood.
Yeah, it wasn't a violent act.
Okay. Because I wanted to ask if it worked.
Sometimes, no, it didn't work. It could be a wake-up call, like bringing you back from outer space, because you're sitting in front of him thinking about, some movie you saw back in New York 30 years ago. Boom. Oh.
Okay.
But very gentle.
Yeah.
However, I once got hit in the heart with a hard, unripe guava from about 50 yards away by a Baba who was 270 years old.
Wow.
He hit me. I turned away from him and I went, and he was so far away I could hardly see him. There were like 1,000 people there. And but Maharaji just kind of soft bananas usually, not hard guavas.
I'm going to update my visual of that. Okay. And the other question was, I have a family. I have 3 kids and I have many people in my house. And don't really have like a sanctuary that I can go to and do this. And I'm from Iceland, so
That's what the bathroom is for.
True. And I'm from Iceland, and I do the Thursdays a
Well,
lot.
I love Iceland. I've been there so many times. Did I see you there? No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I found you after.
No.
But and so it's at like midnight or something, and sometimes or 11 at night, and so I'll go for walks in the empty, cold tundra with my dog, and so I'm walking and moving when I'm listening and chanting. Is that okay?
Sure. Any time you remember the name is good.
Yeah.
You're planting a seed. You know, if you're walking on a tightrope 3,000 feet off the ground, maybe you should pay attention more to the rope. But, you know, if you fall, the name will be there, so that's good.
Thank you.
Where in Iceland are you from?
I'm from the north, but I live in Reykjavik now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. I loved it there, boy.
Will you come back?
You know, this is a country that the government, they believe in gnomes and stuff like that, you know? And there's these certain rock formations that they believe these gnomes live in. So if the government's building a road, they build the road around the foundation. Not like America where they destroy cities just to put a road up, you know. They move 50,000 people just to make a highway. In Iceland, they go around it like that. It's so cool. Yeah. I had a great time there. I loved it. Was I there twice or once? I don't remember. Once, maybe.
What were we like?
Huh?
What were we like?
We were very nice.
Yeah? I've just never seen a harmonium or anything like this there, so I was just curious.
This one spiritual group brought me over. But I sang in that beautiful new...
Harpan, yeah.
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 It was, I think it just built when I got there.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, I saw the poster.
What a building.
Will you come back?
Yeah, you know, Iceland is amazing. We went down to the beach. It was like 110 degrees. And then we got into a car and we drove maybe 15 minutes up to this up this canyon. And then we got into this machine. It's like it had these paddles, but they're like 15 feet wide, right? These big paddles going around like this. And we get up on this thing, and it starts going up the mountain. In 10 minutes, we were in a blizzard, and it was like 30 below. Unbelievable. We went up right into a glacier. It was extraordinary. Within 10 minutes, you're like on the beach, then you're in a glacier. It was amazing. What a place. Yeah. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice place. I love that.
This episode is brought to you by SoHum Mountain Healing Resort.
Well, this place feels like a heaven world, you know. It feels like the land of the medicine Buddha. The treatment's so beautiful, you know. They're so lovely. Everybody's so sweet and so good at what they do. Everybody from the food and the people at the front desk, everybody's so caring and so sweet, and the physical body comes after the mind. The mind and the heart have to be able to heal as well and to relax for that to happen.
You can learn more at sohumhealing.com and use the code KRISHNADAS PK2026 for $500 off on your Panchakarma retreat.
Yeah.
Krishna Das.
Hi.
Hey, Janet. I have a Hanuman Chalisa question.
A little closer. Yeah.
I have a Hanuman Chalisa question.
Okay.
So I enjoy chanting, and like today I loved it, but a lot of times I mumble through certain parts because I just can't pronounce everything. And when COVID hit, and you talked about the Hanuman Chalisa, I decided I really needed to learn it. That would be important, but I really struggled with it, and it caused a lot of stress. You know, because I thought I need to learn this so I can find some peace, and I wasn't. And So I think it was you that told the story about Neem Karoli Baba put, I forgot what song in someone's head, and that they could just sing it.
Say that again?
That you told a story, I think, about Neem Karoli Baba, that he put a song in someone's head in India and he was able to sing it and knew it perfectly.
Yeah. And that was
Yes,
the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah.
And so I thought, I'm going to ask if Neem Karoli Baba would put this in my head so I could just repeat it. And so I get down on my bicycle and I spin, and I put like a YouTube of the Hanuman Chalisa on or a CD, and I just spin and I try to repeat it and learn it. And usually, like, I'll listen to Nina's because she has that nice long one. And normally another Nina one pops up, but this time, the next one that popped up was Neem Karoli Baba, who I've never Googled, and he's just going Ram, 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 Ram. And I thought, I can do that, And so it kind of took me off the hook from learning it. And I feel like I can just Ram, Ram, Ram. And I was just wondering what your thoughts were.
My thoughts are, you are the hook. If we could repeat the name constantly, we would be. But it's not so easy. We have a lot of other stuff going on, habitual patterns of thought, etc., etc. And the Hanuman Chalisa is a practice that purifies the heart. And the effort that it takes to learn it. Now, it doesn't have to be memorized. Nobody said you had to memorize it. Okay. Carry around a little piece of paper, It's not a test. But the Chalisa itself, the practice, Maharaji gave us that practice. And if you read the Chalisa, the translation, you learn a lot about Hanuman, about a lot of things. And Maharaji said, go on sing your lying fake Ram Ram. One of these days, your call will come out and the real Ram will come. So it's not that you can just go Ram, and that, because we say Ram, but it's said that the name and what is named, or God, are not different. But when we say Ram, nothing happens. So we don't have that awareness. We're not open that way. Our bandwidth is still too constrained. So repetition of the name is also purifying, no question about it. And Maharaji said, do it whether you feel any devotion or not, whether you're angry, whether you're tired, whatever, just do it. Because if you don't do it, then what? You don't plant seeds, nothing will grow. That being said, the practice of chanting the Hanuman Chalisa is very powerful. And it's a direct connection with Maharaji, who is Hanuman himself. And so, and if you want to learn it, there's those two, the Flow of Grace CD. And the second CD has every word or every phrase very slowly, easy to repeat. You can just do it. Just do it 20,000 times. You'll know it. It doesn't have to be memorized. It's just some kind of weird trip that we do to ourselves. So, yeah.
So it's okay just to keep repeating it with you on the CD.
Say what?
So it's okay just to keep repeating it with you on the CD.
Of course it's okay. Why? It's better than raping and killing. Right?
Right.
Then?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Where are you?
Over here.
Oh, okay.
My name's Peter, and I'm kind of on this almost opposite journey of everybody else, where I'm a Gen Z, so I'm kind of very young, especially among this group, and I don't have... Sorry?
What do you say? What do you think? Gen Z? What happens after Z? You start back at A?
I think they start going like Delta, and they start going Greek letters.
Okay.
And I'm sorry if I offended anybody.
I don't even know what language you're talking. Go ahead.
So I'm in this specific situation where I feel a strong calling towards service and towards kind of a spiritual path, and that's very new towards my family and specifically even me. Mm-hmm. And I feel this calling towards specifically service in any way I can find it, but I don't see many outlets in my current life to find that. And I always hear Ram Dass talking about just the classic be here now. Your next step is always right in front of you, but that can be a little hard to find, and especially when there's so many paths, especially for the younger generation to go, and there's so many needs of this world when it comes to different holes in societies. And I was wondering if you had any help with the ability to find that path when it comes to specifically a spiritual practice, but also just a pragmatic way to live life, I guess.
Whatever else you do, sooner or later you're going to have to calm your mind down. So start there, see what happens. And there's a million different practices to do that. You can just simply watch your breath come in and out. And if you do it well enough, you can get enlightened just with that. But start somewhere. I mean, you start practicing calming yourself down a little bit, and then see how things go. See what shows up in your life. The more open you are and receptive, the more you become aware of what shows up. A lot of things are there that you're not aware of, right around the corner. Krishna could be living next door, but until you look, you never see. Actually, he is. He's actually living in your house as you. Yeah, so, this is what's called life and living. It happens. So according to what you want in life and how you greet every day and every moment, you see what happens. It's exciting. Sometimes it's very depressing, but that's what's called an emotion. Let it go, come back to your breath. Don't believe what you think, okay? That's the definition of insanity. We all believe what we think. Isn't that crazy? I mean, there's no reason for us to believe what we think, but we do. Yeah, I feel like shit today. Why? Why did I think that? I don't feel like shit. Why did I think I did? That's weird. Okay. But calm your ass down. That's the main thing. Every day. Just a couple of minutes at first, right? If you try too hard, you'll ruin everything. Just chill. 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Set a timer so you don't sit there too long. Maybe an alarm clock to wake you up when you fall asleep in 30 seconds.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, good advice, really.
Hi.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could...
Nah.
No, probably not, because of your attitude towards your own stories now.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if you could elaborate on a story from your autobiography where Maharaji asked you to have courage. And I'm not sure in the book whether you go into detail of like later in your life when you thought that like you looked back and said, oh, he's addressing this moment. Like what? So I guess the question is, can you continue that story, and how did you find the courage, and what sort of grace was involved?
Well, he had just told me that he was sending me back to America. And I was sitting there and my mind was totally spinning out, I was thinking about chocolate chip cookies and Wheaties and, going to basketball games again. I was just going crazy, sitting there, right? And I started to get worried. What am I going to do? I just didn't know what I was going to do in America. And I still had, January, I still had like 3 months in India. He said when my visa was up, that's when I had to go back. So this was Christmas time, and my visa was up at the beginning of March, so I still had a couple of months. So sitting there, all of a sudden he sits up and he looks at me really intensely and he says, "Courage is a really big thing." And the Indian guy goes, "Oh, Baba, God takes care of his devotees." Courage is a really big thing. I was thinking, what's going to happen? You know? So I just remembered that, you know, because he put it in there pretty strongly. And there were a lot of times when all I had was the vague memory of that moment, which was just about enough to get me through whatever I was going through. Internally or externally, there were a lot of, you know, horrible situations I found myself in over the years. But it was interesting because, you know, we have all these ideas of, oh, God does everything, or everything is karma, or it doesn't matter. But he was telling me courage was really important. So that was a big thing. There's not really much to elaborate about other than that. There were times that there was nothing but the memory of that. You know, there wasn't any courage. But just remembering that moment kind of, okay, got me through to the next moment. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Namaste, Krishnaji. You've been introduced to me maybe 3-4 years ago by a close friend of mine. And the first time I've heard you, the tranquility of your voice actually taken me to a different plane. And since then, I've been a huge fan of you. So along with me, I brought 3-4 friends of mine kind of attend this retreat. So the question to you, what has been your experiences or transformational journey to took you on this path of bhakti marga? I don't think you're born as a singer, or probably you're not born as a practicing singer. So what took you, or what experiences led you to that path of bhakti yoga marga?
Bhakti, jnana, karma, it's all the same. It's your life. Bhakti means love. And when I met my guru, I fell in love. And I never fell out of that love. And that's bhakti. It's also wisdom, because guru is everything, the whole universe. So when you're in a loving relationship with the universe, everything changes. So, I don't know if there's been much transformation, to tell you the truth. I mean, really. I just cut myself a break every once in a while now, when I didn't used to. And as a result, I cut other people a break once in a while. Because everybody's the guru. When I can see that, when I live in that space, then it's a very different universe. And that's the way it really is. A guru is not a physical person, and not limited to a body, a physical body. We think that because we think we are physical bodies. That's what we identify with. And so when somebody says guru, you think of somebody out there. That's not what it is at all. Guru is like the space of the sky. Inside, everything is inside of that. There's nothing outside of that vast space, that vast presence. But we our minds, our stuff is focused on stuff, on little things, on forms and shapes and egos and psychology and all this stuff. So we miss the space. We don't see this. We don't experience that presence in which we all live. When we do, then everything's fine. That's real devotion. And that's a mature devotion, a ripe devotion. But it starts very simply, with a loving connection with either yourself or a being. You don't have to meet that being physically to feel the love. I felt the love for Maharaji when I met Ram Dass. I didn't know what it was at first, I thought it was Ram Dass. But he very quickly abused me of that thought. Disabused me, or whatever the word is.
I beautifully explained that in your book, though, by the way. That was very nice.
Yeah, and he liked that too. But, so. One has to experience these things oneself. But we hear about them from other people. We hear about what's possible. But it's up to us to plant those seeds in our lives of the things that we want to experience. If we don't plant the seeds, nothing can grow. Hanuman Chalisa is a very powerful practice for cleaning the mirror of the heart. The mirror is covered with crud, all our stuff. So when we look into the mirror, all we see is the crud. We don't see what really could be reflected. But as the crud is polished off, we see more clearly and more accurately what's reflected in that mirror. So, on one hand, we're looking in a mirror ourselves, and when the mirror is all our stuff, all the me stuff, all the ego stuff, all the greed, the selfishness, the shame, the fear, all that stuff, the anger, all that stuff. However, this is the mirror. Right now, what you're looking into is a mirror. And you're seeing your stuff. All our ideas, all our interpretations, all our likes and dislikes, all our frustrations, all our neediness, all our beauty, everything. So as we clean our hearts, everything we see changes. It's like you're born with glasses on that are the wrong prescription. But you don't know that. So you look around and everything kind of what it is. Doesn't seem weird to you because it's what you were born with. Little by little, those glasses prescription changes. It self-corrects, and little by little things come into clarity and clear. Everything becomes clear. And you see things as they are. I mean, you see yourself as you really are. And that's the result of practice, spiritual practice, or in a very general sense. So we're all in our own little version of the universe. But we share a bandwidth, so we can talk to each other. We can see all these bodies and all these minds and all this stuff. But when the mirror of the heart is perfectly clear, everything is very different. And that's when you experience the oneness of it all. And on the way to that oneness, a lot of different qualities arise: compassion and kindness, equanimity, happiness. Just for no reason. Just because. That's who we are. And Maharaji said, Ram Nam Karne Se Sapura Jata Hai. From going on repeating these names, everything is accomplished. Whatever it is, it's accomplished. It's made full and complete.
I've had
dysentery?
Not yet.
Oh.
Long way to go though. Probably going to happen. So I've had these deep and profound awakening experiences in my life, and I used to be a person who sought ceaseless pleasure.
Good luck.
Right. And so I recognize that that's a fool's errand, and I no longer seek that. I really feel like I want to be here for all of life. That includes all of it: the horror, pain, love, beauty, all of it. And so I feel this resistance to the possibility of enlightenment, partially because I don't believe, I guess I question if there would even be a me there to experience it, this idea of enlightenment being a transcendence of being human, being here in this form. I love that you're making these faces at me.
Yeah, it's totally the opposite of that, of course. You're totally here, and there's nothing in your way. Everything is experienced, because there's nothing to filter, or to push away, or to judge, or evaluate. It's wide open, total presence, which is who you are already. So there's no sense fighting it. That's who you are. All this other stuff is just stuff. Let it go. By saying you want to be here for all of it, you're actually narrowing it down pretty fiercely. Don't say it. Don't even think it. Just be here. But that's not so easy, because we're always thinking all this stuff. When the me is not functioning, you're completely present with everything and everyone and everything, completely. Absolutely, there's no fear, there's no distance. You're out of your own way. It's just exactly the way you know it is, but you can't get there yet. So, and it's just another storyline that you're identifying with, which has got to go anyhow, so let it go.
Thank you. I had another question.
Wait, he's busy. Hold on, he's saying something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, you've lived this amazing life with these amazing experiences.
You think so?
And these awakenings,
falling asleep.
Right. And so I'm curious about your current experience, like we're all coming starry-eyed looking at you, and if there's a need for you, like do you look outward for something, to a person, a discipline, and like is your current experience, is there a deepening, a deeper awakening, and or what challenges you now in life? I'm curious about your current experience.
I'm just hanging out. I don't have much of an agenda. I signed the line and said I'd be here for a few days, so I drove over from my house. Other than that, I didn't make any commitments to be especially holy or anything. I just said I'd be here with y'all. What did you ask?
Does somebody else want to reiterate? No.
We could roll the tape back and.
Oh, I asked like a shitload of questions. That's really the problem here. But like, if you're seeking inspiration elsewhere, is there like a current deepening or awakening, or like what is showing up as challenging or like in the way for you these days?
Having to get here at 2 PM is really hard. Okay, so I get inspiration. I love to find saints, yogis. I met a couple of really great yogis in India this time. Wow. They're still here. It's unbelievable. Let me tell you, they're here. It's extraordinary. So I'm a saint junkie. That's what I am. And it's all Maharaji. It's not like people say, I don't know about it. Yeah, it's all, everything that happens inside of him. So I don't worry about that. But I love finding, I just love saints. I love the beings that shine so much. It's great. That's very inspiring. Just knowing that they're here is very inspiring, because we get, we see the world going down the toilet and we wonder, is there any use or any hope, and how could it get like this? But there are beings who know exactly what's going on, who are doing what has to be done, and it's all, Maharaj used to say, it's all perfect. It's a hard one. That's a really hard one. Ram Dass wanted to take his van and go be like an ambulance out in Bangladesh when all this bad stuff was happening. Maharaj said, Ram Dass, don't you understand? It's all perfect. That's really hard, because people are suffering. That means suffering is also perfect. But we don't like suffering, so how could it be perfect? Well, that's a good question. So that's very inspiring to me. And then the only thing in the way for me is me, so working on it. I'm not in a particular hurry, but I'm working on it. Time goes by, though. Things happen.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Please visit krishnadas.com to stay connected through our digital library, where you'll find an extensive catalog of podcasts, workshops, and music, including online courses, performances, conversations, and more. This podcast has been brought to you through the efforts of the Kirtanwala Foundation. For more information, please visit kirtanwalafoundation.org.